All right, our first problem is a GeoGebra problem. It wants us to move these points so that the lines are the asymptotes of the following graph. And so I've written down just some little notes to kind of help us remember how to find the horizontal asymptote. So if you have a rational function, you look at the degree of the numerator and denominator. The degree is the highest exponent that you see on the variable that you have as a function of. And if the top is greater, the horizontal asymptote is none. We don't have one when the top degree is greater than the bottom. If the degree on the bottom is greater, so you can say the top is smaller than the bottom, then our horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. And then if the top and the bottom are equal, our horizontal asymptote will be the ratio of the coefficients of those two exponents. So this is going to be like a reference when we're trying to find asymptotes. All right, so the function that we're given, f of x is equal to -2. On the bottom we have x minus 1, and then x plus 3, and then we have a minus 1. So we can do our vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes would be the numbers that make the denominator 0. You would just set each of those terms equal to 0. So if I say x minus 1 equals 0, and then we add 1 to both sides, we get x equal positive 1. So if I plugged in the positive 1, that would give me a 0, and that would give me a vertical asymptote. So x equals 1. Same thing with x plus 3. Set that equal to 0, you would subtract 3, and that will give us x equals -3. So x equals -3 would also be a vertical asymptote. And then when we find the vertical asymptote, we can again just kind of reference these. The degree on the top would be 0. There's no exponent on the bottom. You have two x's, so that would be 2. So the degree on the bottom is greater. When the bottom is greater, our horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals 0. Now, one thing we also have to adjust for is this additional -1. This is going to cause a translation of the graph. So instead of our horizontal asymptote being at 0, it gets shifted down 1 because of the -1. So if we do that, we end up with our horizontal asymptote of y equals -1. So anytime you have a additional plus or minus, it's going to shift your graph up or down. So our actual horizontal asymptote is going to be at y equals -1. So if we move these, we will have 1 at -3, and see the value there. This one we want to move to +1, and this one we want to move to -1.